Once upon a time, in the magical forest of enchanted Whisperwood, there lived an owl, a bunny, and a squirrel. They were the best of friends and loved exploring their beautiful home together. One day, they found a mysterious glowing acorn deep in the woods. It was unlike any other they had ever seen before. The owl, who was wise beyond his years, suggested that they take the acorn to the old wise tree at the center of the forest. The bunny, who loved adventures, agreed wholeheartedly. Squirrel, who was always curious, hopped along eagerly. The journey was long and winding, but they held onto each other's tails and kept going. Along the way, they met many friendly creatures who lived in enchanted Whisperwood. Each one shared a special talent or secret with them that helped them on their quest. Finally, they reached the old wise tree. It was huge and majestic, with branches that stretched out far and wide. The owl held up the glowing acorn and asked the tree for its wisdom. Suddenly, the acorn began to glow brighter, and a beautiful light filled the forest. The old wise tree spoke, revealing that the glowing acorn was a symbol of friendship and unity. Together, the owl, bunny, and squirrel had brought balance to enchanted Whisperwood by showing everyone that even the smallest creatures could achieve wondrous goals when they worked together. From that day forward, the three friends continued their adventures in the forest, always helping and supporting each other. And whenever they needed wisdom or guidance, they would return to the old wise tree, knowing that their friendship was a force to be reckoned with. So remember, dear child, no matter where life takes you, never forget the value of true friendship. Just like the owl, bunny, and squirrel in enchanted Whisperwood, together we can achieve anything. Good night. As they walked away from the old wise tree, the owl, bunny, and squirrel felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. They had proven that even the smallest creatures could make a big difference in their world. One day, they decided to explore a part of the forest they had never been to before. It was a dark and mysterious area filled with tall trees and thick bushes. The further they ventured, the more nervous they became. Suddenly, they heard a strange rustling sound coming from behind some nearby bushes. Cautiously, they crept forward to investigate. As they got closer, they saw that there was a small animal trapped in a thorny vine. Without hesitation, the bunny hopped over and started nibbling on the vine to free the creature. Once the animal was safe, they introduced themselves. It turned out that the small creature was a hedgehog named Higgins. He thanked them for their help and invited them to his home deep within the forest. As they journeyed deeper into the forest, Higgins shared stories about the magical creatures that lived there. He told them about a secret lake where the water turned to ice at night, and a hidden grove where flowers bloomed in every color imaginable. When they finally reached Higgins' home, they were amazed by what they saw. His cozy burrow was filled with all sorts of interesting things he had collected from his travels. As they sat around chatting and sharing stories, the owl, bunny, and squirrel realized that their friendship with Higgins had only made their journey through enchanted Whisperwood richer and more fulfilling. As they continued their journey through enchanted Whisperwood, the owl, bunny, and squirrel made many more friends. They met a group of mischievous fairies who loved to play pranks on each other. The fairies taught them how to dance and sing under the moonlight, making their hearts full of joy. One day, they stumbled upon a small cave hidden deep in the woods. Inside, they found an old book filled with magical spells and potions. Carefully, they read through the pages, learning about the different powers that existed within enchanted Whisperwood. As summer turned to fall, the friends decided to throw a party to celebrate their newfound friendships. They invited all the creatures they had met along the way, including Higgins the hedgehog. The party was a huge success, with everyone dancing and singing late into the night. As the years passed, the owl, bunny, and squirrel remained the best of friends. They continued to explore enchanted Whisperwood, always discovering something new and exciting. Their friendships grew stronger with each passing day, proving that even in a magical forest filled with wonders, nothing beats the power of true friendship. One day, as the friends were wandering through the forest, they stumbled upon a field of golden wheat swaying in the breeze. They had never seen anything like it before and were curious about where it came from. Deciding to explore further, they followed the winding path that led to a small cottage at the edge of the field. As they approached the cottage, they heard soft sobbing coming from inside. Cautiously, they crept closer and peeked through the window. Inside, they saw an old woman sitting by the fireplace, tears streaming down her face. Moved by her sorrow, the friends decided to help her. They knocked on the door and introduced themselves, explaining that they had heard her crying. The old woman looked up, surprise etched on her wrinkled face. She invited them inside and offered them some warm tea. As they sipped their tea, the old woman shared her story with them. She was a kind-hearted witch who had grown tired of using her magic for selfish reasons. One day, she had accidentally cursed a group of fairies, turning them into toads. The curse could only be broken by someone who possessed true kindness and selflessness. Moved by her tale, the owl, bunny, and squirrel knew they had to help the fairies. They promised the old woman that they would find a way to break the curse. With renewed determination, they set off into the forest once more. After days of searching, they finally found the cursed fairies, hiding in a small pond. The fairies were hesitant at first, but when they saw the friends' sincerity, they began to trust them. Together, they performed a spell that would break the curse. As the last word of the incantation left their lips, the toads transformed back into fairies. They rejoiced, thanking the friends for their help and inviting them to join their next party. The friends returned to the old woman's cottage, excited to share the good news. She was overjoyed, hugging each of them in turn. From that day forward, she used her magic only for good deeds, becoming a beloved figure in enchanted Whisperwood.